Good morning, students. We have seen in the last class already 8 and 9. Now we shall pass on to the problem number 10 today. Problem number 10 from the exercise. Pass journal entries in the books of Hari, who is a dealer in sports items. Who is a dealer in sports items. And before that, we must write in the books of Hari, journal entries. The format, I said, is very important. As you are all beginners of accountancy, you should well understand or you should know well the format of the journal. So, in each and every class, I tell you, just bear it in mind. The format, how many columns are there, and what are those columns we should remember. This is for ledger folio, this one for debit, other one for credit. Date, particulars, LF, I said the ledger folio, debit, rupees 5, and credit, rupees 5. We can open a column for pies. Though we don't use the column for pies almost in all the problems, but there should be a column for pies also. Date. This is 2017 January 1st. 2017 January. 2017 January 1st. What is the first transaction? Commenced business with cash. Before start answering this question, you should always recall the golden rules. Golden rules of accounts. First rule for personal, second rule for real, personal, real, and the third one for nominal account. First rule for this is golden rules. 3 golden rules of accountancy. First one for personal account, second rule for real account, third rule for nominal account. What is the personal account rules? This is debit and this is credit. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Debit what comes in, Credit what goes out. Debit all expenses and losses. Credit all income and gain. Income and gain. These are the three rules. When business is commenced with cash, we should select a rule for the debit entry. Debit the receiver, any receiver name there? No. Debit what comes in? What comes in? Cash comes in. Therefore, cash comes in, cash account data. To Hari's capital account. To Hari's capital account. What comes in when cash is invested into the business or cash contributed to the business? Then cash comes in, therefore what comes in rule, that is the rule for debit, cash comes in, so cash account data. Credit the giver, that is Hari is the giver, it is Hari's capital, or it is not an asset. If it is asset, we can write it on the debit, and if it is not an asset, we should write on the credit. Here it is a capital and that is not an asset, therefore we can write it on the credit. So narration, business commenced. Business commenced. The cash is 50,000. Cash is 50,000. 50,000. So again, I said in the other class also, it is a journal entry. What are the important aspects of this journal entry? The first line for debit, using debit rule, the first line is written. Using the credit rule, the second line is written. Therefore, first line for debit, second line for credit. First line from where it should begin, it should be near to the margin, this margin, and the debtor, this side at the end. And where you should write the credit, there is a word or there is a term for debit. In the middle of the term, you should put 2. 2 எங்க போடணும்னா இதுக்கு மிடில் இருந்து ஆரம்பிக்கணும். அந்த 2 எங்க போட்டு இப்படி ஆரம்பிக்கிறது இல்ல இங்க 2 போட்டு இப்படி ஆரம்பிக்கிறதுனோ it is there, those things are not acceptable. This 2 should begin from the middle of the above word. Okay, should be very careful. To Hari's capital account. Here writing the amount there is nothing. Whatever the amount given in the problem, you are writing it. For the debit, on the debit line you are writing. For the credit, you are writing the amount on the credit line. That is on the credit column on the credit line. Here in the debit column on the debit line, and here the credit column on the credit line. Okay. And what we are writing in the bracket is called narration. I told you. The term is narration. This I said ledger folio. That is ledger folio. Ledger folio means ledger page number. LF. Short form LF. Ledger folio means page number. Page number. You should remember all these things. There may be a question. What is LF? LF means ledger folio. It means ledger page number. You should give that answer. What is narration? There may be a question. It is a brief explanation of the transaction made. That's all. It is a brief explanation. Tamil it is called Vilakka Kuripu. Vilakka Kuripu. Okay, you should bear it in mind. Okay, this first transaction is over. Then what you should do? Leave a line gap. One line you leave it. Then go to the second transaction. That is purchased goods from Subhash on credit. That is 20,000. Purchased goods from Subhash. Whenever the goods are purchased, the date is second. The date is second. Whenever the goods are purchased, goods comes in. Goods account, data. Goods purchased from Subhash on credit. When goods are purchased, goods comes in. But what the accountancy rules say? The accountancy rules say we should not use the term goods, but instead purchases account you should write. Therefore, you should not recall the rules again and again. Once you see the question as goods purchased, so the accountancy rules does not permit the goods account data. We should not write the goods account data, instead of that purchases account data. So what you should remember from this? Whenever the goods are purchased, whether it is for cash or credit, that is immaterial. That what you should write? Purchases account data. On the debit you should write purchases account. On the debit you should write purchases account data. Therefore, purchases account data. If the cash has been given, cash goes out. Therefore, to cash account we can write. If it is on credit basis, the cash won't go. There is no question of writing cash. Instead, what we should write? Credit the giver, who is giving on credit basis, that person's name. Therefore, goods purchased from Subhash on credit. So the giver is Subhash. Purchases account data to Subhash account. The amount is 20,000. The amount is 20,000. 20,000. This is credit purchase. Credit purchase. So, whenever the goods are purchased, purchases account data. If it is on credit purchase, to name account. If it is on cash basis, to cash account. Right? So, purchases account data to Subhash account. This second journal entry is over, then leave a line gap. Then, fourth, sold goods to Ramu on credit. Fourth one. Sold goods to Ramu. When goods are sold, debit the receiver, debit what comes in. These are the two rules applicable. When goods are sold for cash, what comes in? Cash comes in. Here this is said on credit. So no question of cash coming in. So this is not applicable. Then debit the receiver, who is receiving when the goods are sold. Goods are sold to Ramu. So Ramu is the receiver. So Ramu account. debtor. Ramu account debtor. Then, when goods are sold away, go to the credit rules. Any giver? No giver. Anything goes out? Yes, goods goes out. So, can we write it here to goods account when goods are sold? When goods are purchased, goods comes in, but we don't write goods account debit purchases account. Likewise, when goods are sold away, goods goes out, goods வெளியில போகுது. In that case, we cannot write here to goods account, but what our accountancy rules say to sales account. To sales account. So, Ramu account debtor to sales account, the amount is 15,000. 15,000. Narration is credit sales. Credit sales. After 4th, 8th, Ramu paid the amount through check. Once again, I remind you the rules here. When goods are purchased, purchases account debtor. If it is cash to cash, if it is credit to name. When goods are sold away, as the purchases account appears on the debit, sales will definitely appear on the credit. So what should be written on the debits? If goods are sold away for cash, cash account debtor. If the goods are sold away on credit, name account debtor. So for credit sales, name account debtor. For cash sales, cash account debtor. That is the difference. Okay, after this, leave a line gap. Then go to the next entry. On 8th, Ramu paid the amount through check. On 8th, Ramu paid the amount through check. To whom the goods are sold? To Ramu on 4th. But on 8th, Ramu is paying the amount because he has got it on credit basis. So he is paying on 8th. In what terms? Check received. Ramu paid the amount through check. So he is giving a check instead of giving cash in hand. He is giving the check. So what does the accountancy rules say? This is very important. What comes in? Check comes in. The first rule, see the rule for debit. Debit the receiver. No receiver here. Debit what comes in? Check comes in. Check only is coming in. Therefore, you will try to write check account debtor. That accountancy rules does not permit. Instead of writing check account debtor, we should write cash account debtor. Cash account debtor. So, for the debit, no receiver is there. Debit what comes in, second rule you see, that is real account rule. Anything comes in, yes, check comes in. And therefore what we should write here, check account debtor. But we should not write, our accountancy rules say, even if you receive the check, you should treat as if it is cash. Check வாங்கினாலும் cash வாங்கின மாதிரி ட்ரீட் பண்ணிக்கணும். That is the accountancy rules given in the book. It is the framed rule in accountancy. So cash account debtor to go to the credit. Who is the giver? Who is the giver of the check? Check. Ramu paid the amount through check. Who gave the check? Ramu gave the check. So Ramu is the giver. Cash account debtor to Ramu account. Ramu account. For this amount only he should have given. So the same 15,000. Though the amount is not given in the question, we should take the same amount because to Ramu only 15,000 valued goods were sold away. So when Ramu paid the settled account, how much he should have given? Only that 15,000 he should have given. So that cash is 15,000. Cash account debtor 15,000 to Ramu account 15,000. Narration: check received. Check received. Now we shall continue the problem. For want of space, I draw only the requisite columns. Then the next one, after 8th, 10th one, check received from Ramu is deposited with bank on 10. Check received from Ramu is deposited with bank when check is deposited. What is the debit rule? Check is deposited with the bank. So who is the receiver? Bank is the receiver. So bank account debtor. Do you follow me now? Bank account debtor. When the check received from Ramu is deposited with the bank, till then it is a mere paper. Only if it goes to the bank, it will be cash. So the check is deposited with the bank. So who is the receiver? Who receives the check? Bank receives the check. Therefore, bank account debtor. 2. Go to the credit rules. Credit the giver, no giver. Credit what goes out? Check only goes out. When you receive a check, you have treated it as safe cash. Likewise, when you deposit the check, you should treat as if it is cash. Therefore, when the check goes out, it is cash is going out. Therefore, bank account debtor to cash account, the same 15,000. Check deposited. Check deposited with the bank. Check deposited with the bank. Once again I repeat it. The goods are sold away on credits. For this transaction there are 3 journal entries. 1 for the credit sales. Sales account will appear on the credit. Since it is a credit sales, on the debit you write the name Ramu account debtor to sales account. Then, when there is a credit sales, the check after some 4 days, Ramu is the person who received the goods, so he is paying the amount. How, in what form he is giving the check? whenever a check is received, you should treat as if it is cash. Therefore, cash account data. 2. Who is the giver of the check? Ramu is the giver of the check. Now, the same check the next day or after 1 or 2 days, it is deposited with the bank, because it should not be kept idle. It should be deposited in the bank. It should be given to the bank. Then only it will become cash. So, who is the receiver? Debit the receiver, bank is the receiver of the check, therefore bank account data. Then, what about on the credit? Credit the giver, cash goes out, and who is the giver? Nobody. What goes out? Check goes out. When you receive the check, you are treating it as if it is cash. Likewise, when you send the check to bank, you should treat as if it is cash. Therefore, you should write as if cash goes out. Instead of check goes out, we are writing it here cash goes out, because we have already treated when we receive the check as if it is cash. And likewise, we must now treat the same thing. Since we are receiving the check by treating it as cash, we are sending the check treating it as if it is cash. Therefore, to cash account 15,000. So with this, that sales procedure is over. Then next one, 15th, sports items purchased from Gopal on credit. Sports items purchased from Gopal on credit. Okay, that we will do that later. On one line we can leave 15. Sports items purchased from Gopal on credit. When you buy furniture, what comes in? That is the rule, second rule. What comes in? Furniture comes in. Therefore, furniture counted data. Here, what you buy? Sports items. So, when you buy sports items, what comes in? Sports items comes in. Therefore, sports item account data. When you buy building comes in. Therefore, buildings account data. When you buy some land comes into the business. Therefore, land account data. So, what comes in, you can write as a debit here. What comes in, you can write as a debit here. Debit. But before start answering any question under journal entries, you should note on the top, you should listen to the top, what kind of business is run by the owner. In question number 8, the business run by Mr. Manohar, that is question number 8, is textiles. Therefore, the goods connected with textiles are called here goods, or the things connected with the textiles are goods. Therefore, when those goods are purchased, the purchases account data. Then in problem number 9, Mr. Sasi Kumar, who is dealing in automobiles, whenever some automobile spares or anything is bought, it should be treated as goods, therefore purchases account data. We should not write automobiles account data. We should not write textiles account data, because we should consider the business run by the owner of the business also. அவன் என்ன பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணுறானோ அந்த பிஸ்னஸுக்கு தேவையான பொருள் எல்லாம் குட்ஸ்ன்னு எடுத்துக்கிட்டு whenever they are purchases account data, whenever they are sold to sales account, that is sales account creditor, you should bear it in mind. So in that case, sports items purchased from Gopal. See the top of the question, that is on the top line, who is a dealer in sports items. So here sports items are goods. So we should not write sports items account data. We should write only purchases account data, because sports items are here considered as goods. Purchases account data. Then if it is cash basis, to cash account. If it is credit basis, to name account, I said. Whether it is cash basis or credit basis, therefore we should write the name, that is credit the giver rule. So what is the name? Name is Gopal. Purchases account data to Gopal account. Right. Credit purchase of sports items. Credit purchase of sports items. Sports items. After 15th, the next one is 18th. Paid rent for the proprietor's residence. Paid rent. After 15th, it is 18th. Leave a line gap. 18th. Whatever the amount spent for the proprietor, it may be rent, it may be some discount, it may be insurance premium. If the amount is spent for proprietor, that is owner, proprietor means owner, then drawings account data, it is a standard entry. So drawings account data. Two. If the rent is paid through bank account data, here it is not mentioned it is paid through bank. Therefore, what goes out? Cash goes out. So drawings account data to cash account. The rent for the proprietor's residency is 1,500. $1,500. Here in the narration, rent paid for proprietor's residence. Proprietor's residence. Rent paid for proprietor's residence. This is 18th. 18th, 20th. Paid Gopal in full settlement after deducting 5% discount. What was made? Sports items were purchased from Gopal for 10,000. Listen carefully. From Gopal, sports items were purchased on credit basis. On what date? It is on 15th. On 20th, now the amount is paid to Gopal. Now the amount is paid to Gopal on 20th. Amount is paid to Gopal. Who is the receiver? When amount is paid to Gopal, who Who is the receiver? Gopal is the receiver. Gopal பணம் கொடுக்கும்போது யாரும் வாங்கிப்பா? Gopal தான் வாங்கிப்போம். See, when amount is paid to Gopal, Gopal is the receiver. So, Gopal account data. Gopal account data. Paid to Gopal. Gopal account data. How much amount? For how much the amount? The sports items were purchased for 10,000. So, Gopal account data. Right. Now, what goes out? When Gopal's account is settled, no giver. Here no answer for giver. Then go to the second rule. Second rule. You see the second rule. What goes out? Cash goes out. What goes out? Cash goes out. So, to cash account. How much? Then not the entire amount is paid. Not the entire amount is paid after deducting 5% discount. What is 5% of 10,000? 10,000 into 5 by 100. This is 500 rupees discount. This is the discount. So, how much cash has been paid? Only 9,500. See, it is clearly given in the question. After deducting 5% discount, 5% discount எடுத்துக்கிட்டு மீதியை pay பண்ணிருக்காங்க. This is the question. So, how much cash goes out? 9,500 only, because 5% of 10,000 is 500. So, 9,500 only has been given. What is the difference between other journal entries we have so far, past, and this journal entry? Almost in all the journal entries, we have seen the debit amount and the credit amount are one and the same. Here, what we must do? Here the amount is different. In a journal entry, the amount mentioned on the debit and on the credit must be the same, or else we should make it into equal. So here it is to discount account, because the term is given there. 5% discount. What is 5% discount? 500. So, this is the journal entry. This is a compound journal entry. I told you another problem also. Generally, there will be one debit for one credit. This is simple journal entry. But here for one debit, there are two credits. So, for instead of 1 to 1, 1 to many, that is one debit, many credits, or one credit, many debits. In that case, they are called compound journal entries. So it is a compound journal entry. Why should we write the discount account here? One reason it is evident, because here only the amount shortage of amount we are writing to discount account 500. That is any layman can say. But what is the rule for it? When you pay some amount to someone else, to third parties, instead of giving 10,000 to them, you are paying 9,500 only and settling the amount, settling the account. In that case, what about that 500 rupees? 500 rupees is an income to you. That is why credit all income and gain. So the discount account is credited to them. The reason is that. Since the discount is an income, we have written the discount here. If the discount is paid, it is an expense, it will be debited. But here it is an income, therefore it is credited. What is there? Deducting 5%. Gopal's account settled. Account settled with 5% discount. With 5% discount. So we can leave a line. A line. 20th. Then 25th. Paid Subhash 4,750 and discount received. Paid to Subhash. What has happened with Subhash? Purchased goods from Subhash. Now we are paying cash. How much? From Subhash. Purchased goods from Subhash on credit 20,000. Now 4,750 only is paid to Subhash. So when the amount is paid to Subhash, who is the receiver? Debit the receiver. See the first rule, debit rule. Who is the receiver? Subhash is the receiver. Therefore, Subhash account debtor. Subhash account debtor. How much it is paid? And 4,750 is paid. 4,750 is paid. Yes, we will mention that later. What goes out to cash? To cash account. What goes out? See the second rule. To cash account, that is 4,750. This is the amount goes out. And what is received? 250 rupees is received as discount. It is given there in the question itself. And discount received 250. So it is an income. Credit the income. Credit the income. Credit all income and gain. Therefore, when discount is received, it is an income. Therefore, you credit it to discount account. 250. Debit and credit must be equal. Credit 4,750 plus 250, it comes to 5,000. Therefore, Subhash account data 5,000 rupees. Paid cash with discount. Paid cash with discount. Paid cash with discount. It is important. Subhash account data 5,000. To what goes out? Cash goes out. How much cash goes out? 4,750 goes out. With discount received 250. It is an income. Therefore, on the credit discount account 250. So credit total 5,000 rupees. So the receiver Subhash is said to be received 5,000 rupees totally. So in Subhash account it must be 5,000. Then after 20th it is 25th. Then the last journal entry of this problem, 28th, leave a line gap and paid by cash wages, electricity charges and trade expenses. Wages 500, electricity charges 3,000 and trade expenses 1,000 it is given. There are three items paid: wages paid, electricity charges paid and trade expenses paid. Wages paid, electricity charges paid, wages is paid. Wages, any receiver? No. Anything comes in? No. When wages is paid, nothing comes in, no receiver. Wages, when wages are paid, is it an expense? Yes, it is an expense. Therefore, wages account data. 2. When wages is paid, no giver, anything goes out? Yes, the cash goes out. Therefore, to cash account. Okay. Then the second item, when electricity charges are paid, electricity charges, no receiver, nothing comes in, it is an expense. Therefore, electricity charges account. Data to what goes out, cash goes out. Right. The third one, trade expenses account. Trade expenses, the term itself shows it is an expense. So third rule, debit all expenses rule. So trade expenses account. Data to what goes out, cash goes out. So these are all the three similar entries. All these three are expenses. Therefore, what we must do, debit all expenses as per rule number 3. Wages account data, electricity charges account data, trade expenses account data. 1, 2, 3. These three are expenses. Therefore, all the three are appearing on the debits. When these expenses are paid, what goes out? Cash goes out. Cash goes out. Cash goes out. So to cash account. So you can find a similarity. What? Almost in all the three, the credit is cash. In that case, what we can do? We can pass a journal entry, compound journal entry. We can pass a compound journal entry. How we can pass a compound journal entry? Combine all those three journal entries. What? It is on 28. It is on 28. Wages. Combine all the debits. Wages account data. Electricity charges account data. Data, trade expenses account data, data. For all these, the common credit is to cash account. So, what are the amounts here? 500, 3000, 1000. 500, 3000 and 1000. So the debit total 4500, so we can write 4500 here. So it has become a compound journal entry. Or else we can write separately. How? Wages account debtor 500 to cash account, wages paid. Electricity charges account debtor 3000 to cash account, 3000 electricity charges paid. Then third one, trade expenses account debtor 1000 to cash account 1000, trade expenses paid. We can write separately 3 journal entries. Instead, we just simplify the things into a compound journal entry. Here we are writing like this. So, expenses paid. You need not write each and every item. Expenses paid, you can simply write, because every expense is denoted here and the amount is also mentioned here. You need not figure. Okay, now, right.